For this session, we're going to look at Green Day's Good Riddance, Time of Your Life, and we're going to do it on ukulele. Now, the original is on acoustic guitar, so we have to compromise a bit of the chords. So it's going to sound close to the original, but not exactly because we don't have enough strings. It's going to sound like this. So it's a nice picking song. We can later put some strumming into it as well. We can strum like this. But let's take it step by step through the chords, through the picking pattern first, and we're going to work our way through the song. Okay, we're going to focus on our chord shapes for starters. Our first chord is going to be G. Now normally you play G like this, right? We're going to just use fingers 1 and 2 because when you go to the next chord, which happens to be C add 9, all you need to do is just lose the first finger. So if you're going through now from your G to C add 9, it's a nice easy transition. And then when we put the D sus4 into play, your first finger simply goes flat across strings 4 and 3, and we're still playing the same 3 strings. So for this song here, we're not going to need our bottom A string. We don't need it for this song when playing Good Riddance. Now I want to focus on our picking technique next. Now I like using fingers for this picking one, although you can use a plectrum. I would encourage to try getting your fingers working for this. We're going to start off with the top string, 3rd string, 2nd string, 3rd string, sir. And you finish off with a 4th and 3rd again. So slow motion, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3. One more time and listen for the timing. The timing is quite crucial. Pause a bit, 2 notes, and then little pause, 3 notes. So it's 1, 2, and it's twice through. And from a different angle, your finger should be looking like this. Or again, one last time, super slow motion. And again, pay attention to the rhythm itself. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm also resting the back end of my wrist onto the body of the ukulele over here, so that I can actually sort of support my hand. It gives my hand a sort of sense of positioning on the ukulele as well, which certainly really does help a lot. Now, as we go through the chords, we're looking at the introduction of the chords and also the first 2 lines of the verse as well. You've got your G, like I said, we're not playing it like this, we're playing it like this. We're going to go to C add 9, which means we simply lose the first finger. And then when we go to the D sus4, and we did cover these chords at the beginning of the video, finger 1 goes flat across strings 4 and 3. We're going to have this slow motion, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. And at speed, it sounds pretty cool. And it sounds really cool. Now, when you go to your 3rd and 4th line, you're going to have an E minor. That's going to be a new shape. So we're going to focus in over here again onto your fretting hand. And we're going to do a quick detour on sliding chords. Now, even though we said we're going to E minor, I'm going to start here with D minor, which starts with finger 1 actually in fret number 1, 2nd string. Middle finger, finger number 2 as it's marked, and finger number 3 both into the 2nd fret on strings 4 and 3. This is actually your D minor. Now, for those that know a bit of theory, if I go up in pitch by 1 fret, I have D sharp minor, and 1 more will take me to E minor. So what I want us to learn from this over here is that your chords are movable. Now, normally E minor we play like this and we don't strum the top string, but because of the sound of the song, because of the nature of the song, how you wrote it and played it, for this song, your E minor is going to sound better with finger 1 on the 3rd fret and the other 2 on your 4th fret on the top and the 3rd string frets number 4. So now your E minor is going to sound like this. From there you go to C again, but normal C this time, and because you're not playing the A1 string at the bottom, you can just do this for A, and then D, you don't have to worry about the string again. As we said, you got your D like this. Normally D looks like that with all 3 fingers squeezed in. You can just do 1 finger flat across there for D. And your G again, you needn't worry about playing the full chord, you can just do this. Now this is for the picking. Obviously for the strumming you're going to use your normal traditional chords. So you use your full G for the strumming, for example. You try and get a full E minor for the strumming, but we're not there right now. We're working with the picking still. So E minor, slow motion, let's get a different angle there. Going to go through the E minor, all the chords play at once. E minor, C, I should go to D first, this is my bad. E minor, D, C, and G. Back to E minor, D, C, and back to your G. It's really an easy song to do. Once you've got those basic tools, those picking patterns and the new shapes, you hum dry. And if you look at the PDF that I would send across as well when I'm doing this for tuition, for those that are following my channel, if you would like a copy of the PDF with the chord diagrams for both the picking section and the strumming section, if you want a copy of it, just drop me a message. I'll be happy to email it to you at no expense at all. It's a pleasure to help. But for your picking, you got enough now to play your first verse. Now, when he goes to the second verse, he kicks into a strum, and you'll notice that I've got a deeper sounding string over here for the ukulele. I've got a thick string. You can see over here it's a metal string. I've replaced the top G string over here. Now, normally you have one of these strings. Traditionally, you've got a thin, high-pitched string for the G. But on the other ukulele I'm going to switch back to now, the lower pitch string just really works a lot better. Okay, so we're going to go through from E minor, we're going to go to the strumming. Sorry, we're not going to get E minor, I'm getting confused with the end of the first verse. We've done that. We're starting the second verse now, we're starting back again with G, and this time you're playing the traditional G. So it's a normal G like we normally learned, and your strumming pattern, I'm not going to use a pick for this because we started picking with the fingers, so you might as well keep the fingers and strum with them. And on the count of 1, you strike the bass string, which, like I said, in the other ukulele won't work very well. So if you've got a standard ukulele, you might have hassles with this. Just ask your local music shop to replace your thin string with a thick string if you want to. It's quite an easy swap. And your strumming pattern, bass note, down, up, down, up. Slow motion, bass, down, up, down, up. And if you do it faster with 2 Gs, your C, and your normal D. Now your D is going to be a little bit of a squeeze because your fingers have to get inside there, and unfortunately I don't have my bigger ukulele now. I've got my smaller one presently, but it still works quite nicely. And your rhythm pattern is simply this. It's a really fun song to play through. Now, if you've got any questions about the song, or if you're not sure about something, just drop me a WhatsApp. I'll be happy to help. You've got all the essentials you need to play Green Day's Good Riddance. I hope you have an awesome week. Take care. Cheers.